What's up, everybody? Tendo here, and I've been thrift shopping. I did so much thrift shopping today that I can't fit it all in one video. I'm gonna have to split it up into two. I got a whole stack of games. I got a PS3, and stick around to the end of the video to see if I can get this working. It's a white one I didn't have. It's got some parts missing, but we're gonna see if that bad boy works. The thing that I've split off into another video, you might be able to see it behind me. My whole shelf here is covered with Pez. And then my whole living room is covered with Pez. So if you haven't checked out my Pez video already, it's already posted. I'll leave a link below. Make sure you go check that out. But stick around for this video. Check out what I bought at the Thrift. Here it goes. I started off the day at a Goodwill bins, and if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a Goodwill where all the other Goodwills send their leftover stuff or the stuff that they're just not going to be able to go through. They send it all here, and then this place wheels it out in giant bins, and then you dig through it, and you pay for it by weight. And this was not an ordinary trip to the bins. Today was quite miraculous. I found so much great stuff, and on top of that, I started out the day really strong, because as you can see, I'm walking straight to the book bins here. I always do a quick lap around these bins just to see which one is the most worth digging through, and I didn't even have to do that today because as soon as I got there, here is a Pokemon Black and White manual. And these I'm super happy to find because they're not that cheap at the game store. They're not something I'm going to spend full price on, but when I find them here, I get them for $0.25, which is awesome. So that was a great start to the day. Now we're on to the back of the store. It's a giant room that they close off, restock, and then open it back up, and you get to come dig through more stuff. And you can see there in my hand, I've already found a PS3 motion remote. That's pretty awesome. Those aren't the easiest thing to find, and I only had one, so now that I have two, I can play some of those other two-player games. Super excited about that. Hannah found herself some sunglasses. Always dope. Plenty of comic books around today. Didn't end up buying any, but here's a Skylanders book I picked up. And then you keep digging through these books, there's no telling what you'll find. I ended up finding a handful of Warcraft books. Some sort of Warcraft gaming manual. I'm not 100% familiar with what they are. Some sort of pocket guide. And then Minecraft paraphernalia. That's not exactly licensed Minecraft, I don't believe. Some third-party thing, but I collect Minecraft stuff, so that's awesome. And then this thing, I don't remember if I ended up buying it or if I threw it back or accidentally dropped it. Didn't find it in my bag when I got home, but I had a bunch of those when I was a kid. And then I buy every Hot Wheel track I can find, and I find plenty of them. I don't go a day usually without finding more. You can see that box I carry around with me just to throw my finds in. Keep them in there until I can get them to the cart. More Hot Wheel tracks. You just keep digging, you'll keep finding them. I've probably got well over 1,000 now. Can't wait to get out this winter when it's not so hot in Phoenix and put all those bad boys together and roll some camera strapped to Hot Wheels down a giant hill. As you can see, they just keep coming. That's usually what happens. You find one on top, and that's a good signifier that there's more below, and then you have to dig through the entirety of that bin to make sure that you find them all. And then if you want to be extra thorough, you keep digging in the surrounding bins, and you usually find a few more. This is about how many I find every day. That's about what a set of them looks like. And I find that many quite regularly. I've got a giant box of them in my storage unit where they just keep piling up, just waiting to the day I make that video. And then I found the first PS3 of the day. This also is a regular occurrence. These PS3 fats show up daily, and usually there's multiple ones per day, but I don't risk any money on those because they're heavy, so when you pay for things here by weight, these still end up being like $15. And that's just not worth it because none of them ever work, ever. You're very lucky if you still have a PS3 fat that works. But I do usually harvest the hard drives from them if I can, just to have some spares. And they're not always there, but that one was. A little bit later in the day, I ended up finding the rest of this PS3 that was missing. That's also a pretty regular occurrence. You never know if someone donated it like that or if when they were dumping all this stuff into these giant bins, it just cracked in two. It's always a guessing game. And then here's a peculiar find. These two Xbox 360 controllers that someone hand-painted. This is kind of embarrassing, but I still considered buying them because I have a large controller collection and I just thought that would be something funny to add to them, but I didn't buy them. Then moving on, this is another round where they refilled all these bins full of books with fresh stuff, and it was great because I walked right over to them, and I've got some buddies that shop there, and I was over here digging through one corner, and they just kept throwing games at me. This is all stuff they just chucked over, like, here you go. because they know that's what I'm looking for. It's nice to have friends in these places. So I basically ended up with as many games as I could carry, which is always awesome. And this Call of Duty was interesting. I didn't end up buying it. It was PC, and I've been trying really hard not to go down that rabbit hole of PC game buying. But keep digging, and what do you find? Grand Theft Auto 4 manual. It's a Brady manual. Always happy to find those. And then probably find of the day, I got my hands on this PS3, and it was not easy to get because sometimes when they roll things out like this, other people see them, and you got to wait on one side of the store until the other side's opened, and then everybody's running to get what they want. And I had to kind of make a mad dash to this one, but I was able to get my hands on it and take it home for myself. Not sure at this point if it works, but stick around to find out. I kept digging around trying to find the panel that was missing from the PS3. I didn't find that, but I did find the controller that came in with it, so that's always a plus. And then I kept digging around looking for more parts of the PS3. Still didn't end up finding any, but I did find this microphone stand, which I'm pretty happy about. It's a nice shock mount, and the shock mount I already had was in disarray, so it's nice replacing the expensive things that you own with more expensive stuff that you don't pay much for, because this is by weight. That thing weighs an ounce, so I'm not paying much for it at all. And here's a Lego plate. I tend to buy these when I can because there's a game store locally that I can trade them into for a couple bucks, but that one was pretty warped. They wouldn't have taken it, so I left it. And I'm over here looking through my cart to make sure that I want to buy everything that's in it before I leave, and everything there looks good. Hannah actually goes and check out, and I usually keep digging until the very last minute just to make sure I don't find anything else, and sometimes I do, like this, a branded Nintendo Switch charger. Nothing terribly special, but it's actually a Nintendo one. I'll put it in my Switch bag. Keep digging, keep digging. These are bins that are not far from the door, so I just kind of dig while she's checking out, and I ended up finding a Power Ranger toy. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I've got a rather large Power Ranger collection, so always nice finding little Power Ranger Megazords. Then we left the Goodwill bins and continued on to some of the Goodwills that were in between the bins and our house, and this is the first one, the closest one to the bins. So I ended up frequenting it quite a bit. I haven't been in this one recently, which means it's had plenty of time to reset, so I'm hoping there's some good stuff here. And as you can see, it's Halloween time. They've already got the Halloween costumes out. They get them out pretty early here. I guess the costumes do really well for them because every year they make a big deal out of it. Have a Halloween contest for people that bought their costumes at Goodwill. It's always real interesting. I entered it once with a Jedi costume I made with tablecloths that I bought from a Goodwill and sewed into Jedi robes. True story. Did not win the contest, though. The prize that year was a 4K TV. A couple kids dressed as Ghostbusters won, I believe. But here I am at the games, and I got a really good haul from this Goodwill last time I was here. I got a good haul on top of the fact that another guy showed up before me and bought a bunch of good games and left a bunch of good stuff. So we were both able to leave happy. But today's not looking so good. I did end up finding one game that I bought, but I was more excited about this IKEA shelf. It had a great price on it, and I need more shelves for my game room. But despite the price being right, it was missing all of its shelves, which was a bummer. But keep moving, looking at the toys now. Really want to find some Skylanders. I haven't added many Skylanders to my collection in the last few weeks, and Goodwill is where I get most of them. So I got to check these racks, and then you got to check these wall hangers because there's often bags full of them on the wall. But a lot of this stuff looks picked through, and as you can see, there's just kind of toys laying everywhere. So I'm not going to find much here. So we moved on to the next Goodwill just down the road from that one. Another one that we frequent a lot. And I go straight for the games, and there's not much here. I'm striking out on the regular Goodwills, which happens, but I can't complain too much because it was a great day at the bins. But I'm going to be thorough, and I'm going to look through all these and just make sure there's nothing that I have. And it's not looking like there is. Lots of sports, lots of Connect, a few Wii games. And then look at this. 2 more IKEA bookshelves. And you know what? The prices on these ones weren't so great, but they were also missing their shelves at both stores. The last one and this one, I asked if they had the shelves laying around. They said no, they came in like this. Such a bummer. I don't like paying full price for those IKEA bookshelves. They're about $60 a piece new, and I'm just not. I need a bunch of them. I need like 10 of them because I'm always running out of space, and I'm just going to cover my whole entire game room with them wall to wall. So It's going to take a little while because I'm going to have to buy them as I find them at the thrift stores, and that's a rarity. It's a rarity for them to show up with their shelves. A couple of headsets here, but nothing I'm interested in buying. The shelves are pretty bare. They're usually quite a bit more full, and it just means it's been a long shopping week, and everyone's already beat me to the punch. Hannah found and handed to me this Xbox 360 controller, but it was in pretty rough shape. So I just ended up leaving with this Marvel Superhero Squad game. And then this is the last Goodwill on the way home from the bins, closest to our house. And right inside the doors are these lock boxes, and there's a PlayStation 2 in there. And the price was actually pretty good, just $10. But I don't buy them unless they're at the bins usually, and I just can pay a few bucks for them. They don't trade in for great credit currently, so I really don't buy them unless they're bottom dollar. But I'm checking the games over here, pretty hopeful because I do all right at this Goodwill. But I'm not seeing a lot. There were a lot of PC games, but that's just not something I'm into buying. There's a few Wii games there and a big handful of Xbox 360 Connect games. But honestly, nothing that I don't already have. But I'm going to keep digging just to make sure. And over here, there's more PC games. You can see Warcraft down there in the corner. Not familiar with what this is. And then over here is probably where the games are supposed to be. There's an empty row with just a few games there, but it's also stuff that I already have. So it looks like somebody probably beat me to the punch on this one and wiped them out before I even got there. I'm on to the back now. I get back there, and what do I see yet but another IKEA shelf. I'm excited because this time it has its shelves, but unfortunately, and this is a bummer, the price was a bit high, $25. I really wanted it. I thought about buying it anyways. They are about $60 new, but I need so many of them, and if I keep giving in and paying $30 for every one of them, I'm going to spend a fortune. So I passed on it, and all there was in the electronics was this PlayStation 3 Buzz Quiz TV game, but I could tell by the weight of it, it only had the game in it, and the controllers were missing. So I passed on that. But you got to dig through this electronic stuff when it's piled up like this, because you never know what controller or other gaming paraphernalia is going to be in there. But I didn't end up finding anything, and as I was leaving the store, I noticed this lady was wheeling out stuff, and if you look closely, right at the top of the cart by her head, there's a stack of games. And I can't quite see from where I am what they are, but I don't want to get too close to her and make her nervous. So I'm just going to follow her to the media section and dig through those games and see if there's anything that I need, anything that I want. I'm really hoping there is, because I'm pretty much striking out at the regular Goodwills at this point. Did really well at the bins, but the regular Goodwills are letting me down today. She's probably mad that I'm hovering over her, but I got to get to those video games first before someone else swoops in and takes them. So I get to them, and it's not a ton. Honestly, I had most of this stuff too, but there was a couple things worth looking at, like Dead or Alive, and Sports, Simpsons, Rocky. Rocky's not bad. All right, guys, we are back in the game room, and boy, do I have a lot to go over. You already heard about the PS3. Stick around to the end. We'll see if we can get that working. But I also have a big handful of other stuff. Let's go over the not gaming stuff real quick. I mean, it's still kind of gaming, but I got a Minecraft sword. I think this is a weird aftermarket thing, but I've got a couple of them on my Minecraft wall. I'll add this one. And then this whole bag of Hot Wheel tracks and Nerf clips. I've spoken a lot about these tracks on my channel already. As soon as the winter months get here and it's not 120 degrees here in Phoenix, we're building a giant Hot Wheel track down a mountain. Subscribe for that if you haven't subscribed already. That's the only reason you need to subscribe to my channel. I'm rolling Hot Wheels with cameras on them down mountains. Subscribe. All right, next I bought a tent for my brother. It's an REI tent, a bike packing tent. It's super light. It's meant to be strapped to your bike. He does a lot of bike packing. I've done a little with him. But that's actually a really expensive tent. A couple $100, a few $100 new. It might not be in the greatest shape, but it is like £1.50 pounds, so I only paid $1, $1.50 for it. I'll give it to him, let him check it out. If it's not any good, he can throw it away. No loss. Microphone stand with a shock mount. I just went ahead and bought the whole thing because, again, this was stuff that was from a Goodwill where you pay by the weight, and I needed a new shock mount for one of my microphones because the one I have is falling apart. But this is a nice little stand too. Nice to have. Don't need to say anything about that. And then a little Mastodon, Black Power Ranger Mastodon. I don't know what this is from. It has little purple paint splats all over it, so It's from something I'm unfamiliar with, but I don't have a ton of Power Ranger stuff, but it is one of my favorite things ever. So I've got a modest Power Ranger toy collection down here in the corner. Pretty cool. PS3 hard drive. It's nice to have spares laying around, especially with their mounts on there. So if I need to do any work on other PS3s, I can swap out hard drives. Next, I got a handful of books. The first couple are World of Warcraft official battle chest guides. Not really sure what these are. I've only just gotten into Warcraft. I played once back in 2009. I played a free trial and didn't really stick with it, but I'm really excited for the vanilla WoW that's coming out. I'm going to be playing that and putting some of that content on my channel, so definitely check that out in the future. But I've just kind of been buying up any cheap Warcraft stuff I can just to have some in my collection. And then another Skylanders book. I buy anything that says Skylanders on it. And then Pokemon Black and White, the manual. This is probably one of the best finds of the day, I'd have to say, because I want these manuals, these Pokemon manuals, bad, but they're pretty expensive at the gaming store. And I paid a quarter for this one, or is it 50 cents? No. At the Goodwill, where you pay by weight, hardbacks are 50 cents, I believe, and paperbacks are 25 cents. So I actually got these two gaming manuals for 25 cents. That's crazy, right? Especially that Pokemon one, but I'm always happy to buy another Grand Theft Auto manual. And then that pretty much just leaves the games. And there's the stack. And these were almost all from the Goodwill bins. There's a couple here, like I believe this Sonic game and this Superhero Squad game I didn't get at the bins, but the rest of these I got at the bins. So they were pennies each. First two are a couple PlayStation 1 games missing their manual, a DDR game and a football game. I won't add these to my collection until I get the manuals, but I've got a box full of stuff that's either missing their manuals or missing their discs or things like that. So those will go in my holding box until I either come across another copy or just come across those manuals, which happens all the time. I'd say every third video I make, I have something that finally completes something and I add it to my collection. My 7,000th copy of Wii Sports, get that out of the way. We'll get this out of the way. Your Shape featuring Jenny McCartney. Wow, I did not know that existed. But it's sealed. I guess that's kind of cool. And then a Platinum Hits Dead or Alive 3. Super awesome. Super happy about that. It's all there. Love it. My 8,000th copy of Wii Fit. I don't even know why I buy these. Really, I just buy them for the Wii cases now because they don't cost me anything. And I'm getting pretty close to having all my Wii cases that need to be traded out. I've got like 6 or 7 left. And I think, funny enough, let's see what this one is. Yeah, here's another copy of Wii Fit. It's one of those days. Came home with 2 copies of Wii Fit, but I'm not mad, like I said, just because of the cases. There's that Sonic Heroes I mentioned. Greatest Hits. This was missing its manual, but it was only a couple bucks at the regular Goodwill, so I went ahead and picked it up. I'll put that on the shelf. Superhero Squad. Rocky Legends. It's all there. What's that sticker from? Get 10% off today. Cool. Originally had a price tag on it. Well, it's probably not even original. This was probably used a little while back. $17.99. Didn't pay that for it. NBA 2K3 for the original Xbox. With a bit of shiny going on there. I always like the shiny. NHL 06 for the Xbox. Madden 06. I might already have a copy of this, but I didn't pay anything for it, so I'll just put this in the spare case pile if I do already have it. MVP Baseball 05 for the original Xbox. I definitely already have this one. Actually, this one's empty, yeah, if I remember correctly. But I have a huge stack of demo discs that all need PlayStation 2 cases, so that's why I buy this. I'll throw the rest of it away, because I've already got a copy of that. And then MVP Baseball 05. Was that not what that one just was? That's funny. This happened on one of my last videos. Same game. Different consoles. Hilarious. Madden 10. The 360. Sweet. A racing game. Ford Bold Moves. Street racing. It's amazing how many Ford-sponsored video racing games there are. I've got a lot of them. ABBA SingStar. That's awesome. That's even got an advertisement for the PS3 inside of a PlayStation 2 game. I actually haven't seen that. I mean, that's not surprising for obvious reasons, but I've never seen that. Kabuki by Cranium for the Wii. Ooh. Oh, there's a... That's funny. So it's all there, and then inside of the case, what is this? Rebel Raiders. I'll have to put that in my extras box. I definitely don't have that, but I don't have a case for it either.
All right, here's the moment of truth. Let's see if this bad boy works. Hey! All right, this is looking good. Can you read this screen? Yes. All right, there you have it. It works. I'm actually pretty surprised because there are clearly signs that it's been opened and put back together. There's parts missing on the outside. I thought someone tried to fix it, couldn't, took the spare parts off of it, and then tossed it. But it works. So I've got a white PS3. Very happy about that. Going to put it right here next to my red one. But I do need to get a replacement cover for it. They're not terribly expensive on eBay, but they only come in black. But I could probably live with getting a black one and painting it white. But anyways, guys, back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right, guys, that's everything I've got for the day. Thank you so much for watching. And let me know in the comments below before you leave what your favorite thing that I got today was. I'm probably going to go ahead and say it was these manuals, because it never really ceases to amaze me how many of these I get at the thrift for $1/4. It's just awesome, especially the Pokemon ones. So that's a big favorite for me for the day. Let me know in the comments below if you saw anything I got today that was stupid, because most of this was pretty stupid, but we didn't pay anything for it. And really, most importantly, probably let me know in the comments below if you spotted anything at the thrift that I happened to miss, because that does happen. But guys, hit that like and subscribe button, please, and hit that bell notification so that next time I post a video like this, you'll get a notification and you'll know that you can come back and hang out with me then. Until then, guys, peace out.
Hey, I'm a shark with a top hat, and I think you should subscribe. Go ahead, hit the button. I'll wait. Okay, bye.